Alright, we're going to look at how we can install or write out the program to compute a mod M. Here's the home screen, right? What we're looking at when we just first turn on our calculator. First, I want you to hit the program button, PRGM. That's right next to vars, below stat. That's one highlighted in red right now. When you do that, it'll bring up this menu. You might have some programs already listed. What we're going to do is write a new program. So use your arrow key to highlight new, create new, hit enter, and we need to give it a name. I called mine mod, M-O-D, so I'm just going to put that in. Notice the capital A here, it's already an alpha lock, so any keys you hit, it's going to just take this the capital letter in green above the button. So M is above the divides, O is above the 7, D is above the X inverse button, and so it's called mod. I'm going to hit enter, and now I'm starting. Now we're going to just start the first line of the program. I want to compute a mod M, so I need two inputs. I need it to ask the user for A. I need it to ask the user for M. So I'm going to hit program, and when you're in the middle of an editing screen, when you hit the program button, it looks different. This is an input-output. I'm going to prompt the user for a value, so I'm going to arrow over to I/O. I'm selecting option 2. I want to prompt the user. I'm going to call the first letter A. So now notice there's not a capital A there on the cursor. I have to put it in alpha mode, so I'm going to hit the green alpha button and then hit math because that's where the letter A is. Hit enter. I also need to prompt it for M to compute a mod M, so I'm going to hit program again, go to input output, select that second option. Again, I have to hit the alpha key because I'm asking the user to give me the value for M, which is above the divides button. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take the quotient A divided by M, but I only want the integer part of that. I'm going to take that and then store it in a new value that I'm going to call Q. So if you hit the math button, and then under number, NUM, option 5 is int. That means take the integer part of whatever comes inside. So I'm going to hit 5 to select that option, and I'm want the integer part of A divided by M, so alpha A divide by alpha M, close those parentheses, and I want to store it in a new variable. So I'm going to hit the stow button, store, which is next to 1, little arrow key, and then we can see the little arrow. I'm going to store it as the value Q. I'm going to call it Q, so I'm going to hit alpha, and Q is above the 9, so hit 9. So now I have this new value stored in Q, which is what I get if I take A divided by M and just take the integer part. So it's the quotient without the remainder. I hit enter. Now in order to compute a mod M, I want to take the value A. I want to take this quotient and multiply it by M. So that's just the integer part, right? Multiply it by M and subtract that from A. That will give me the remainder, and you'll remember that in our notes this is kind of how we started building the mod function. So I'm going to take alpha A minus the product M times Q, so alpha M times alpha Q, and I'm going to store that into a value that I'm going to call R for remainder, so store, which is next to 1, alpha R, which is above the times button, and that value for R should be, is the value for a mod M. So now I just want the calculator to show me what that is. I'm going to hit PRGM again, input output, display the value of R. So option 3, display alpha R, and that's it. It's automatically saved, so I'm going to quit to home. And now if I hit the program button, there's mod, And let's say I want to know the value of 12 mod 5, which we know should be 2. 12 is 2 more than a multiple of 5. I start the program, hit enter. There it's prompting me for A, 12, enter. Now it wants the modulus, which is 5, enter, and it gives me the value 2. Once you're in the program, so I've already run it once, if I just hit enter again, it's going to run it again. So if I know I need to do this a bunch of times in a row, I don't have to go in through the program menu each time. If the program mod was the very last thing I did, then once I hit enter again, it'll automatically launch it as another time. So maybe I want 289 mod 11. Gives me 3. If I want to do something else and not stay in the program, just start punching in other buttons. Like it's not in the program unless I hit enter again.